twins' true father exposed. My life. It feels like a tangled web, a series of choices and betrayals that have led me to this impossible place. My name is Clara, and I married right after high school at 18. It was an arranged marriage, a continuation of a friendship between our fathers, both Army men. It felt like destiny, but destiny has a way of twisting into something unrecognizable. My father was always a kind man, a man of honor. He took in a young girl, Na, whose father, an electrician, disappeared one day. Na was brilliant, and my dad paid for her nursing school, helped her become a midwife. She was my only friend, my confidant, until she decided to move out. Then there was my marriage. My husband, Mark, and I were both in the Army. We wanted a child, but it wasn't happening. Then I injured my leg, and I was forced to stay home. I started a business, trying to find purpose in this unexpected turn of events. Now, my friend saw my vulnerability. She suggested I cheat on Mark, said he'd leave me if I didn't have a child. I refused, but her words planted a seed of doubt, a fear that grew over 3 years. Then, on a business trip to China, I met Jay. He was charming, and in a moment of weakness, I lied and told him I was single. We had an affair, and I got pregnant. I blocked Jay, never looked back. I told Na, but not Mark. Mark was overjoyed when he found out I was pregnant. He bought me a car, celebrated our future. We had twins, and for 8 years, we were a happy family. Then came the trip to Paris. I told Na, and she demanded to bring her daughter. I refused, and she threatened to tell Mark the twins weren't his. I was terrified. I agreed, and she used the secret to blackmail me, demanding money control. One day, she demanded $1 billion. I told her I didn't have it, and she threatened to tell Mark. I was desperate. I called Mark, told him to come home, that I was going to end it all. I confessed everything. Mark was shocked, but then he revealed his own secret. He had lost a testicle as a child, and the other was damaged. He had been told he couldn't have children. He had been advised by his mother to adopt. The fact that I was pregnant was a miracle, a surprise. We agreed to keep it our secret. Then Na came, trying to expose me. Mark stood by me, told her he didn't care about my past, that I was his wife, and he loved me. He kicked her out. I was devastated. Na, my friend, had betrayed me for money. I cut her off, and her family too. I had been supporting her mother, her brother's education, her child. I stopped it all. Now her mother is blaming me. She says I should have told her about Na's behavior, that I'm punishing her family for Na's sins. Am I wrong? Should I forgive Na and pay for her brother's education? I don't know what to do. Let's dissect this, Clara. You've lived a life of secrets and betrayals, haven't you? From an arranged marriage to a secret affair, from blackmail to family feuds, your story is a complex tapestry of emotions and consequences. You were vulnerable, Clara. You were afraid of losing Mark, and Na exploited that fear. She used your insecurity to manipulate you, to control you. She wasn't a friend, she was a predator. And you, Clara, you made choices. You lied to Jay. You cheated on Mark. You kept secrets. You were driven by fear, by a desire to protect your family, but your choices had consequences. Mark, too, had secrets. He carried the burden of his infertility, the fear of losing you. He chose to keep it hidden, to protect you, to protect himself. And now you're all paying the price. Na's blackmail, your guilt, Mark's pain, it's all come to a head. But let's talk about Na's family. They are not innocent bystanders. They benefited from your generosity, from your kindness. They knew Na was blackmailing you, yet they accepted your help. Now they're blaming you for their misfortunes. They're demanding you continue to support them, as if you owe them something. But you don't, Clara. You don't owe them anything. You've given them enough. You've given them your time, your money, your kindness. It's time to set boundaries, Clara. It's time to protect yourself, your family. Na's actions have consequences, and her family must face them. You are not responsible for their choices, for their misfortunes. You are responsible for yourself, for your children, for your husband. Cut them off, Clara. Cut them off completely. Change your number, block their emails, move if you have to. And focus on your family. Focus on healing, on rebuilding trust, on creating a safe and loving environment for your children. You've been through a lot, Clara. You've made mistakes, but you've also learned valuable lessons. You've learned that trust is precious, that friendship can be a weapon, that secrets have a way of unraveling. But you've also learned that you are strong, that you are resilient, that you are capable of overcoming adversity. Don't let Na's betrayal define you, Clara. Don't let her family's demands control you. Take back your power, Clara. Take back your life. And remember, you are not alone.